Hello everyone, how you doing? I'm so inspired to make this video today. I'm super stoked. It came to me as an inspired aha to share what I'm gonna share with you after the gym yesterday. And I had this whole download of wow, this is something that has helped me so much in going to my next level, which is where I'm at now, and continues to help me when I get off track or feel off track. That it's so helpful, and yeah, I'm just so excited to share it, and so that you can live a meaningful life and do what you're here to do. So let's roll, right? So if you ever feel like you are maybe at a successful place, like maybe you've reached a level in your career or even in a relationship that feels like, okay, that was like a dream 10 years ago, right? Or to the outside public, objectively, anybody judging would say, this person has no reason to complain. This person is doing what they're really good at, they're making a difference, they're successful, whatever. There's that, but maybe inside you're not feeling totally lit up anymore. And even though you know you could be really good at what you're doing, you want something more. But maybe it feels really scary to even think about that because, look, you want to be grateful and you want to feel like you probably won't be judged, but more so like you probably, if you're anything like me, want to still really contribute and not risk losing what you've already gained, but also not kind of hold yourself back anymore, even though the situation outside of you might be scary. Like the relationship is finally great, right? Or you don't totally believe that maybe you even deserve or could ever really have the relationship you totally want. Or another instance is in our career, like we've gotten to a level, it's secure, it's safe, and yet maybe you have another vision and another dream and want to go bigger, but feel like you can't and frustrated from really doing whatever it would take to go for it. And I totally get that. And so this is a tool that I have found, not so much a tool, but more like a decision and a strategy to actually help you, and it's helped me go to that next place, even if I'm scared, or at least start on the path towards where I want to go rather than continue on the path that has just been getting me to where I am. Even though, again, it's great, there's nothing to complain about, and we're all super grateful for it. But if you are getting honest with yourself, you're not satisfied and you're not happy, and maybe you don't know why. But if you got really honest and asked yourself why, I bet you could say, well, by the way, kind of on the side, I have this other vision, but it's not allowed. Or I have this other thing that I want that this other person isn't on board with, whatever it is. Maybe it's kids, maybe it's monogamy. I don't know what it is for you, but we all, I think, have that thing that we really want to create or we really want to have, but we feel frustrated and blocked from it when we think we're not deserving of it, or we think that it actually won't happen, or that you have to be grateful all the time so that, you love your life and you would attract more in. But again, that causes the frustration because you still want more or you're still not satisfied. So let me know in the comments if that relates at all to you. I would love to hear just hey, I resonate, or hey, I relate, or drop an emoji of some number one, let's say. There's so many ways to do that, and I don't care how you react or interact, but I want you to know I'm here with you, and I want to see that you're here with me too. So let's connect in whatever comment you want. Let me know if that resonates. That was definitely the case for me. I was an elementary teacher. I had worked really hard to get there. I was offered a job student teaching when I was teaching in North Carolina. I had it made, it felt like. But when I moved cross country, because I felt really inspired to go to Virginia, I wasn't seeing new job opportunities. And once I finally did get into the school system, I was doing great work. I was really good at it, but I wasn't really finding fulfillment. And this felt super frustrating because I had already invested so much, or I had already it's so hard when everybody else outside of you is saying you're really good at what you do, because now there's pressure that you have to keep doing it, right? So the truth was, though, if I were getting honest, that I didn't love what I was doing. I just didn't know what else to do. And there was a process that took place for me to finally kind of hit my rock bottom and see that I really didn't want to do that. And if I were being honest, I wanted to be a counselor. Like, that's what I knew at that time. Like, and I just felt that there was these rules in place. Like, well, I can't do, even though I really clearly knew that, like, there was this rule that said I can't do that because I invested already in a 4-year degree, 5 years really. I said I was going to do this since I was in 5th grade, so now I have to really follow through. Like, there's all these supposed to's right there on top of it that kind of clouded what I knew I needed to do. And it was finally when I talked to a mentor, and she could tell how like depressed I felt and how sad I was and not reaching my potential at all, which, by the way, is the irony and what Mel Robbins calls false control. Like, we think that these things that are keeping us safe are control and having us control our life, when in reality they're false, because they're actually creating more confusion, more frustration, and more littleness. Course in Miracles talks about it's our biggest battle, if you will, to fight the littleness rather than to fight the greatness. The greatness is already within you. Really, what our job here on earth to do, according to Course in Miracles, is to fight that littleness and let our bigness thrive. And so it was in this conversation with my mentor at that time where she was like, wait, what do you really want? And I was like, well, I just really want to be a counselor. And she finally was like, why aren't you doing that? And I was like, well, I can't, and this is why. And she's like, no. And she just told me, like, look, girl, what you've done, like, that's what it is. Like, if you don't like it, don't stay. And like, it's okay. Like, all these different reasons. And so all that to say, it took a second, but I finally did decide to pivot from teaching and go for what I really wanted, which was counseling, morphed into finding coaching as a career. And now I'm a spiritual mentor, and I like to call myself a spiritual guide for purpose alignment. So whatever that means, what that does mean to me is that I'm your guide to let your own truth come out, for you to be your own leader and for your intuition to really be strengthened, so that you don't ever need anybody else but you and your connection to something higher than you, or your own true self, or your truth inside, your higher self, your intuition. I don't care how you call it, but you, like, you are your leader. And my job would be to help you in a spiritual way, guide you to allow that truth to come forth and that authenticity to come forth. Because yeah, in my experience, when any coach or mentor has tried to tell me what they think and put me into a box, like, and I wasn't online with it, that's not empowering at all, right? Like, it actually didn't really serve me. What would have served me is for somebody to be like really there with me to say, like, what is it that you need, and where are your blocks and patterns coming up, and what is your actual truth? That's what I aspire to do. And the people I've helped, like, it's so cool, double their income after getting rid of past bad relationships, because they were finally clear that they could be empowered and still be okay without those people. They attracted in better work relationships, or people who finally found the love of their life after never having a solid boyfriend in over 10 years. Like, all these ways that we can hold ourselves back in every aspect. We think, oh, I'm just stuck in my job. It's not true. You're stuck in a lot of other ways too. It's just butting its head out of this direction. So all of that to say, it's very exciting, like, this type of work. And so bottom line, I went into like my whole story. So now I want to get back into where you're probably at too, and like how this tool can help. After becoming a coach, what I did was I reached a level of going full time in my business. So hold on, this is part one. 1 second.